After a successful run at the Class 6A level, the Manvel Mavericks moved down to 5A, where they will be carrying heavy expectations to bring home that elusive state championship. The Mavs are 73-15 since 2010 and have advanced to the quarterfinal round 6 out of the last 7 years. Graduation took 11 talented players to FBS schools, most of those on the offensive side of the ball. This year's group will be hard-pressed to match the 55 points a game that last year's team averaged, but Kalon Stokes, who returns as the team's leading receiver, will likely see an increase in balls thrown his way. Richmond Foster returns one of the most potent offenses in the area, with quarterback Alex Raymart leading the way. He led the Falcons to a 10-3 record a year ago and will once again team up with his favorite targets, Cedarian Lamb and Chandler Spites. Foster returns 7 players on each side of the ball and on paper looks like one of the most balanced teams in the area. Despite going undefeated in the regular season in 2015, the Crosby Cougars had a disappointing finish. After advancing to the state semifinals the previous season, they were bounced out of the playoffs early in the area round by Ridge Point. Senior receiver and Texas A&M commit Manny Netherly will replace the departed Tristan Cotton at quarterback. Last season, he hauled in 61 passes for over 1,000 yards and 18 touchdowns. Now, he'll use that dynamic playmaking ability to trigger an offense that features some new but talented faces. In Magnolia, the Bulldogs are coming off their first 10-win season since 1965. They'll be led on offense by junior tailback Anthony Johnson. He returns as the team's leading rusher, racking up an impressive 1,500 yards and 25 touchdowns last season. Those numbers figure to improve this year as the team returns 12 starters. No doubt kids from around the area are chomping at the bit to get this season underway. We won't just be covering the large classes this season either. It's safe to say that there's plenty of talent in the smaller schools and private ranks as well. Let's take a look at which teams figure to make some noise in Class 4A and lower. It was just 2 years ago that the Navasota Rattlers were hoisting a state trophy in Arlington, and they figured to be in the mix for a 4A title once again, despite losing most of their skill players to graduation. Not only that, longtime head coach Lee Fedora has moved on, so much of the pressure will fall on the capable shoulders of senior tailback Keandrick Filio. He returns as the team's leading rusher with 1,300 yards and 20 touchdowns last season. In the private school ranks, no one in the state can boast 2 players the caliber of Marvin Wilson and Walker Little. Both are regarded as the best at their position, and if the game is truly won in the trenches, then Episcopal will be the team to beat.
Me and Walker came in freshman. We never thought we'd be this good. You know, just looking back the other day, just saying after leaving the open, like dang, like look how far we come. Like freshman year, just meeting each other in the weight room. We lost state last year with a great team that we have. Now we got a lot of guys. Cam Uprise, Walker's #2 player in the country now. Jalen broke the ESPN 300. So you know, got a lot of great things going into the season. So you know, just last year we just all took it personal. You know, it's our last year coming up. You know, we gotta take it personal and win the state championship.
Jake Levere will lead the way at running back as he returns after picking up 2,100 all-purpose yards last season. The Knights will be breaking in a new quarterback, but senior receiver Jalen Waddle will help make that transition a smooth one. Last year, he led the team in receiving with 875 yards and 11 touchdowns.